You took the film buy credit. You took him away from the posters. You did all of that here. It's a lot of accusations, no proof. She's provided no real...
They're the golden couple of Hollywood, but behind the scenes, Ryan Reynolds is in damage control. In the cutthroat world of celebrity law, there's a new player and he's taking on the system one legal case at a time. While Ryan Reynolds is busy playing to the cameras, Justin Baldoni is preparing something far more dangerous than a PR strategy. In the game of high-stakes litigation, where the rules are made for one and the penalties are paid by the many, Justin is assembling a team of the best legal minds to take on the industry's heavy hitters. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a war between illusion and integrity, and it might just bring Hollywood's golden couple to their knees. With the truth on his side, Justin is ready to rumble. But will anyone be left standing when the dust settles? Or will everyone be too busy trading accusations to notice that they're all being played? What happens when one of Hollywood's most beloved stars gets too confident in court? Ryan Reynolds just filed legal documents that experts say completely missed the mark. Some even call them fundamentally flawed. He argued that Baldoni didn't prove damages but failed to address the heart of the case, the serious defamation claim of calling someone a predator. This oversight could prove disastrous. The lawsuit is now heading into depositions, where even more personal and potentially humiliating details may come to light. Reynolds' legal blunder could end up costing him far more than he ever expected. Here's how it backfired.
Lively's attorneys told TMZ, "We are pleased with the result of today's hearing and eager to move forward immediately with the discovery in this case. The court granted our request that all attorneys in the matter actually follow the rule of the law and not make any statements that could prejudice a jury. This case deals with serious allegations of SH and retaliation. We will hold the defendants accountable and we will be confident that once all the evidence is submitted in the matter, Miss Lively will prevail." Okay, well, we'll see. That's Blake Lively's side trying to declare it a win because, you know, the judge did sort of say you must follow the law, but Justin Baldoni's team clearly also declaring the win, as TMZ is also reporting it, scored a legal win because there was no gag order placed. That's what Blake Lively was trying to do. Blake was also trying to not have this lawyer, Brian Friedman, depose her, and she lost that as well. So while they're spinning it in their favor, yes, Brian's got to be a little bit more careful. Clearly, he's still out there making statements, just like Blake Lively's team is doing. He doesn't seem to be releasing anything else, and I suspect we're going to start getting less from this side as evidence and finally.
While Ryan Reynolds dazzled fans on red carpets and charmed talk show hosts during his Deadpool press tour, Justin Baldoni was quietly preparing for battle, building a legal arsenal behind the scenes. The contrast in strategies couldn't be starker. While Reynolds soaked up the spotlight, seemingly unaware of what was coming, Baldoni was methodically constructing a case that could bring Hollywood's golden couple to their knees. What's most striking is the calculated nature of Baldoni's approach. He wasn't just stockpiling random evidence, he was crafting a detailed legal narrative, piece by piece, with the precision of someone who knew exactly what he was up against. Industry insiders say Baldoni anticipated Reynolds would lean heavily on his celebrity status and public goodwill, so Baldoni took steps early to prepare for that exact scenario. Reynolds, by contrast, allegedly made the mistake of dismissing Baldoni as a minor irritation rather than a serious legal threat. But according to newly revealed court filings, Baldoni wasn't just keeping receipts, he was building an exhaustive archive of their entire history. Every text message, every email, every loaded comment or offhand remark made in front of others was preserved, ready to be presented in court. The thoroughness of the documentation has left legal analysts stunned. This wasn't someone who decided to sue out of emotion or revenge. One top entertainment attorney noted, "This was someone who saw a legal storm on the horizon and quietly took shelter before the lightning struck." Perhaps Baldoni's most strategic move was seeking legal counsel from high-powered entertainment lawyers long before anything became public. While Reynolds was leveraging his industry clout and media presence, Baldoni was cultivating relationships with attorneys who specialize in the complexities of entertainment law. These early consultations gave him a roadmap for the most effective way to present his case. And now, sources close to the case say, Reynolds' legal team appears completely blindsided by the volume and specificity of the evidence Baldoni has compiled. They reportedly didn't anticipate facing such a well-prepared opponent. It's showing that's the danger of underestimating someone who doesn't shout for attention. Sometimes, it's the quiet ones who pose the greatest threat. So, what exactly did Reynolds say that could be so damaging? According to court documents, Reynolds allegedly accused Baldoni of working with a rhetorist statement so serious and inflammatory that it now sits at the center of defamation claims that could cost him millions. This isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a grave allegation that courts are likely to treat with the highest level of seriousness. Reynolds and Lively's apparent confidence in their ability to control narratives through public platforms may backfire. Courtrooms don't operate on charm or celebrity, they operate on evidence and strategy. And in that arena, Baldoni may have the upper hand.
Would seem damning, but she doesn't really offer any specifics. She doesn't provide any text. She doesn't tell us who these people are. Just says they don't want to get involved right now, given all the toxic virality out there, and that they will testify if necessary and be part of disclosures, etc., coming up, depositions, what have you. We are going to go through this. It's a lot of pages again, and we're going to go through actually about a couple hours, maybe a little less, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put the link at the end of this. I'll tell you when to click it. Join us live. We're going to read through and go through all of the differences, but I wanted to spotlight some of the major things I noticed. The first thing I noticed is, as I compared it to the last one, a lot of texts were actually removed. This is the new document, as I made a note here, but as you'll notice here, this is the original complaint. As you can see, that first text is still there, but she removed, they removed quite a few texts, specifically these right here. I want to show you the one, this is the one I'm trying to show you. The majority of socials are pro-Justin, and then they moved on their section. Majority of socials are Justin, but she removed he doesn't realize how lucky he is right now. We need to press on him how effing lucky. The whispering in the ear, the connotations, the JFC, other members feeling uncomfortable watching it. I mean, there's just so much. Now, you'd think these texts would be very important in her new amended complaint, but she's removed them. They're not in this complaint at all now. And part of the reason is probably because Justin revealed the context of these texts, because they did look more nefarious. But the context, if you read the full exchange, shows that Justin's publicists are saying it doesn't even matter if it's not true. And so the context of that exchange shows that they're out there combating lies. And so the fact that Blake removed these texts in the new amended complaint, seemingly not wanting to argue that point, is very telling to me. And it's not the only one. There's another text later on. Here it is on page 44, is comparing. These were all removed as well. That whole exchange. Wow, you really outdid yourself with this piece. That's why you hired me, right? I'm the best. Remember the removing emojis, the fact that this is all.
That dismissive attitude from Hollywood's golden couple is about to collide with something. Their PR teams and industry connections can't spin authentic conviction. In a town built on image and illusion, Justin Baldoni's spiritual foundation has become his most surprising and potent weapon. While Ryan Reynolds ramps up the aggression, Baldoni's quiet, values-driven approach is making Reynolds' tactics look increasingly desperate by comparison. Most celebrities facing high-profile lawsuits rush to their publicists, carefully crafting their image and media response. Baldoni, however, is taking a dramatically different route. Sources close to him say that instead of holding crisis meetings with PR strategists, he's been attending prayer gatherings. His beliefs, reportedly rooted in the Baha'i faith, emphasize seeking truth and integrity over headlines and public perception. A radically different philosophy from the standard Hollywood playbook. The contrast couldn't be more striking. Reynolds and Blake Lively are leveraging their combined 100 million social media followers to steer public opinion, subtly shaping the narrative. Baldoni, meanwhile, has remained silent, almost monk-like in his public conduct. No emotional social media posts, no anonymous quotes from sources close to the actor, no staged paparazzi photos of him looking distraught or silence and stillness. This isn't someone who's being advised by publicists, one industry insider observed. This is someone being guided by prayer. While Reynolds appears focused on narrative control through aggressive statements and dismissive legal filings, Baldoni seems focused on something more elemental, the truth, and that calm, measured dignity is reportedly frustrating Reynolds' camp. They geared up for a typical Hollywood mudslinging match. But how do you fight someone who refuses to play that game? Baldoni's faith discourages gossip, retaliation, and public shaming, principles he's clearly honoring. Legal analysts are beginning to take note of how his quiet composure could influence courtroom perception. Courts tend to look skeptically on parties more invested in managing public image than in addressing the actual legal issues. And when one party is firing off statements while the other sticks to facts and evidence, judges and juries notice. Baldoni's restraint makes him appear more credible, said one legal expert following the case. It suggests he's not trying to win in the court of public opinion, but an actual court. That credibility could prove powerful because courtrooms deal in evidence, not influence. Baldoni's values honesty, humility, forgiveness far more deeply with juries than red carpet glamour or Instagram followings. The real question now is how much of an edge this spiritually grounded approach will give Baldoni. By rejecting Hollywood's standard crisis script and choosing truth over theatrics, he may have just positioned himself as the principled underdog and the most dangerous kind of opponent Hollywood's power couple could face. In a town where narratives are bought and sold, Justin Baldoni's silence is speaking louder than any headline. No staged photos, no Twitter rants, just a man standing firmly on truth while the world watches a power couple scramble to spin control. As this case unfolds, one thing is clear: charm can win over fans. But only truth wins in court. Stay tuned because the real story is just beginning.
Had leverage and I didn't use it. I merely set up this whole precedent, so it could help the crew. Yeah, right. As if that also wouldn't establish a control pattern that you then used and made everyone afraid of you, so you could get more and more control, from wardrobe to everything else that you demanded to creative writing. Oh, and what about Taylor and your dragons? You're ignoring all of that. You absolutely stole control from this movie, and inch by inch you took more and more, and you've admitted this in interviews. I have to have authorships, and sometimes it's a rug pull for creators. You've admitted this, so now she's trying to downplay it as if it didn't happen. But it gets even worse. The story Wayfair is told filing her complaint is completely at odds with her behavior trying to produce and market the film. Before Miss Lively sued Mr. Baldoni, Wayfair was perfectly happy to exploit Miss Lively's star power, as well as her access to A-level filmmakers, editors, and more. And notwithstanding their complaints today that Miss Lively supposedly seized control of Mr. Baldoni's film, that did not stop Mr. Baldoni from proudly marketing the film as his work on release. Indeed, although Mr. Baldoni privately confessed that he did not see the final cut of the film until the premiere, he repeatedly and publicly took credit for the film, which Miss Lively generally downplayed her contributions. So what Blake's doing here is, well, why didn't he speak up? Girl, are you serious? You literally would then use that against him as retaliation if he spoke up. He can't win. You're painting him in this corner that there's no way for him to defend himself or ever be right, because anything he does would go against you. But then when he doesn't, oh, well, why not? He didn't do it because he wanted, for the sake of the film, to not get distracted. You took the film by credit. You took him away from the posters. You did all of that.